I spent $1,500 fixing a problem that I could have avoided for a fraction of that. Not because I brought the wrong gear or hired the wrong contractor, but because I didn't run enough cable. Now I'm going to walk you through what I missed, why it matters, and the solution that I landed on. Because if you're building or renovating your studio right now, this video might save you $1,500. So let's go. Now, if you're building a studio or if you're renovating one, your brain is naturally focused on the things you can see. That's the acoustic treatment, the gear, the desk, the monitors. Those are the things that we account for in a build. But infrastructure is something we don't pay close attention to and can easily be overlooked. Here's what I mean. When I built out this space, I ran Ethernet cable to cover the control room, a couple of drops in the live room, and the booth, enough to handle what was outlined on the blueprint. What I didn't account for was a scenario where I might need multiple Cat5 connection points throughout the live room for headphones or anything else. During construction, I was more concerned with bringing everything well within budget, and I wasn't going to do anything more than was required. All I was thinking about was what I needed now, not what I need next, and therein is the problem. The way my studio is configured, there are headphone monitoring locations in multiple positions in the live room and the booth. Now, with only just 4 locations, I began to think, what happens if I need to record an ensemble of 9 or more? Suddenly, I have a coverage problem. Now, I could daisy chain multiple stations together, but that would create stress on the system. So my first instinct was to open the walls and just do it right. But the labor alone, without the materials, was going to become a financial disaster. In other words, bruh is out of money. And as if I don't have enough to worry about, I forget to consider being able to remotely record drum sessions without an engineer. Now, if I had planned carefully in the beginning, I'd have a dedicated network hub in the control room with an additional Cat5 access points, giving me the ability to distribute both audio and HDMI video throughout the studio. But now, the solution. If you're finding this content useful, please do me a favor, hit the like button and consider subscribing so that this information could get out to more people. Now back to the program. Now the solution to this problem isn't tearing into the walls. I've decided to run a Cat5 connection into the live room through the closet in the control room. I have to use now surface mounted options for this, and though it's not aesthetically appealing, that's the fix for now. Now the second problem is solved by building a remote setup with the right gear. Enter the Antelope Audio Discrete 8 Oryx. What this unit does changes the equation totally. It allows me to create a remote studio setup, a self-contained recording and monitoring hub without the need to power up my largest setup. The headphone monitoring is via the front panel. I have 8 discrete high-gain preamps and onboard DSP. Now, let's be clear. This is not a budget solution. It's a compromise, a workaround, and an upgrade at the same time. I now have a mobile station for music composition and drum recording. And for me, the flexibility is much better with this setup. But I want you to hear me clearly. I had to spend $1,500 just to get here. A proper Cat5 installation during the original build would have cost me much less. Now I want to hear from you. If you've built or renovated your studio recently, what decision do you wish you'd made differently? Drop it in the comments below and let's compare notes. I'm Warren Henry, and until the next one, peace.